Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Chris Purpose back at it again with another Gems of War Guild Wars attack team video for you guys. Now, in this one, we have a pretty interesting Guild Wars setup for this week. This is a Ghulvania restricted Guild Wars, and man, oh man, this can be a very challenging Guild Wars. I think it's going to be one of the most challenging that we've faced so far. So for this video, I'm going to be going over about 6 teams for this restriction for Guild Wars. Of course, there are going to be some similarities between the teams, but I have to showcase what are the best options for players. So stick around. The teams are going to be following up right after this. So this right here is the 6th team for this upcoming Guild Wars. Of course, the best weapon in the restriction is going to be the Axe of Leeching. This is a generator type weapon from the Kingdom, which is an axe that deals magic plus 7 damage to an enemy, boosted by Ghulvania allies. Then it will create a mix of 6 red and purple gems for each Ghulvania ally. Of course, if you want to maximize the output of gems on the board from this weapon, you want to ensure that you're using the Death Knight hero class. Death Knight hero class is the class from Ghulvania. It will make you an undead hero. The selection for the talents in the class, I have Stone Wall, I have Chill of Death, Vanguard, Storm's Aura, Life Siphon, Lightning Strike, and Unholy Blessing. All undeads will gain 2 armor and magic when an ally dies. Of course, I hope none of my allies are dying here. And yeah, that's the setup for the class for this first team. At the front of the team, we have Draculus. Draculus is going to be here simply because he steals life from all enemies. And life steal is really good, especially for a tanky troop, and that's exactly what Draculus is. As you guys can see, he has skull damage reduction, not a lot, only 25%. And he also has that King's Will final trait, in which you will gain 8 life when I deal skull damage. Could be useful at the top of the team, but of course, you can stun this, so keep that in mind when you are playing. Then, of course, the axe is right there, followed by Murthonai's Darkness. This is going to be here because sometimes your Draculus will not hit an enemy simply because they are submerged, right? So you want to ensure that you have this on your team because this deals damage. As a matter of fact, it steals life from 4 random enemies, and then it will summon Murthonai's Will. That's always good to have a resummon on the team, and most importantly, this will completely bypass submerge. So it doesn't matter your enemy is submerged. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if they're buried, right? If you have 2 enemies left on the enemy team, you can use this and spam that barrier, get it out of the way, follow up with a second hit, and there you go. You might end up killing out the enemy troops. The troop is also undead because that's the main focus of majority of the troops in Ghulvania. It's an undead kingdom. This is also a divine, so that's pretty cool. The troop also has that Death Visage final trait. It will create an Uber Doom Skull when my turn begins. Those Uber Doom Skulls explode more than regular Doom Skulls, which will allow you to generate some mana from this troop being on your team. Especially if you have 2 copies of this, you will prove to be in a good spot to use those on a team. As a matter of fact, I'm going to showcase a team with 2 copies of Murthonai's Darkness. At the back of the team, one of the most important troops to have is the Ghost Queen. The Ghost Queen, of course, is the troop that gives a 50% mana start to all undeads, right? So once you have a pure undead team, every single troop on the team is going to have half mana start. That's really, really good, especially for Guild Wars, because the aim is to get spell ready quickly, kill out the enemy troops. The troop spell, Wraith Song, is also pretty good because it will steal mana from an enemy. Stealing mana is one of the best things to do because you take that mana, give it to yourself. You're stealing 7 mana here. And along with that, it will also steal life. So it's stealing mana, stealing life, and it has a boost ratio. It's only a 1-to-1 boost ratio, but nonetheless has a boost ratio off of purple gems that are on the board. Of course, it's undead as well, and it has an undead bond. And the mana cost on this is pretty low. The only bad thing, though, the Ghost Queen is completely blocked by the Axe of Leeching. So keep that in mind for your team. Now, let's take a look at the banner on this first team. The banner here is the Gate banner from the Hellgate faction. So this is a +2 on brown, +1 on red. They're minusing yellow. I think the weapon, once we get it spell ready and cast it, we should have a good chance of getting a 4-gem match and then possibly following up with damage from my troops. All right, so we're in PvP battle, because this is simply the place I'm able to test these teams. As you guys can see, we have a very strong team here. We have a Leprechaun, followed by a Chrysanthrax, followed by the Obsidian Labram, then followed by another Leprechaun. So this is a very powerful team. Hopefully I can get spell ready here, kill out these troops, but I might lose. So let's try it out. Let's see how it works. And yeah, man, this Guild Wars is going to be challenging. I'm not going to mess around here. It's a very challenging start. Ooh, not a bad board. That's exactly what we're looking for here. All right, so if we follow up with damage from our Draculus, I think if I go after them afterwards with my Mortalized Darkness, I should kill. All right, so we're going to go Draculus here. Big damage right there. Got an explosion. They did not get a 4-gem match, which is exactly what we want to see. Now we should be able to kill out some of their troops. Ooh, that sucker survived. Wow. All right, so now let's cast the weapon. See if we can get a kill here or get close to spell ready again. And almost there. There we go. We secure the kill. That's exactly what we want to see. Now we need to get Mortonized Darkness spell ready once more. And we did not get that surge, which is bad. Oh, we should have gone for purple. That's why. Should have gone for purple. We got spell ready, and now we should kill him. There we go. Right? Of course, that was a very strong team. It was kind of not the best prepared because they put one leprechaun in front of the Chrysantherax, but nonetheless, you guys saw how this team worked. It's very simple, very straightforward, and I think that majority of players that have these troops should be able to use it with no problem, right? You have the troops, you have the life stealing option. These are the best damaging option in the game. Genuinely, Ghulvania has some of the best damage dealers, just doesn't have the mana generating, right? So we're a little bit short when it comes down to weapons and stuff like that. But the life steal that this kingdom has is above everything else. It's just really, really good. Really, really good. All right, so team number 5 is going to be following up right after this. And here is team number 5 for the upcoming Guild Wars that's restricted to Ghulvania troops. The Great King is going to be at the second slot on this team. This is, without a doubt, the best board controlling option for the kingdom, as well as one of the most, you know, potent damage dealers, man. Simply because the Grey King spell, the Grey March, is so deadly. What it does is that it destroys all gems of a chosen color. Then it will deal true damage to all enemies of that color, and it will mana drain them, silence them, and freeze those bad boys. That's going to be so potent, especially if you have a singular color enemy team. This works excellent against like the final room for Guild Wars. If they have a brown room for the final room, which is the palace, or they have whatever color it is, the Grey King will be great, especially if those colors that you're destroying on the board matches his mana color, because he uses brown, he uses purple, he uses blue. That makes it even more powerful. So you destroy those gems, get it back to yourself. You possibly can loop again, hit them once more, and you just keep them silenced, keep them frozen. You know what I mean? Really, really powerful troop, man. His final trait is decent as well, his unique final trait, which is the King's Legion. All undead allies will gain armor and magic. 2 armor and magic when matching 4 or more gems could prove to be useful in getting more magic to your Grey King and your other troops on the team. So he's right there in the second slot. Once again, we have the Axe of Leeching, I should say, and the class is the same. Nothing has changed in the class. We're going to keep that Storm's Aura right there simply because a lot of the troops here use brown. As a matter of fact, every troop on the team use brown mana, right? So that is going to be really, really good. Once again, we have the Mortonized Darkness here on the team. She's just a backup resummoner on the team, which could prove to be, useful in certain instances, as well as she's stealing life. So it's pretty easy for her to stay alive on this team. At the back, the Ghost Queen is once again on this one. So we've changed the banner for this team. We're going with the Abyssal banner here. I think we should actually change that. I'm going to go with red. I'm going to go with brown, purple. I'm going to go with brown, purple here. The Slayer banner is what I think I'm going to pick for this one, simply because I want to get the weapon spell already really, 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 really fast. And once I'm able to do that, then I should be able to cast it, get the Great King going, get the Mortonized Darkness going, and then everything should fall in line after that. So we have a potent enemy team to go up against here. We have the Essence of Evil, Centurion, followed by Maelstrom, Dagonaut, pretty OP. If he starts casting, it's over, right? But the good thing about him, he can bypass the damage I'm going to be dealing here no matter what, simply because I'm dealing true damage. And Grey King, you cannot bypass his damage no matter what, even if you're submerged, doesn't matter. You're going to take this damage. And yeah, he has a Catharus on the enemy team. All right, let's hop into a fight, man. Let's see how we do here. This is team number 5 for the upcoming Guild Wars. All right, let's see here. So first off, we need to get the weapon spell ready. We don't have a +2 on green, so we're gonna just match that here. Hopefully get some brown or green. Can we get some nice alignment here? Not yet. All right, let's see if we can cast the weapon here. And I think the most. Ooh, that was a big miss. Oh my god, that was a big miss. All right, we're gonna go for the Great King on green or brown. I think I'm gonna go green. Should I go brown? If I go brown, I kill two. I kill three. All right, let's go brown. Nice. All right, we're gonna have the essence of evil. Being a problematic person as usual. All right, there we go. We got mana back to the weapon, which is always a great thing. All right, let's see if we can match a 4 gem match here. Get some gems cascading. We have a purple storm because we killed some enemy troops there. All right, let's see if we can get this going. Oh, this is a second miss. What the hell? What's happening here? If this was a little bit more potent battle, I would have been dead. Right? That was a second miss, but nonetheless, we got it done. Um, the team worked exactly how I wanted it to work, and of course, sometimes in Guild Wars, it's gonna take a little bit of luck. We got lucky on that one. We killed out the enemy troops. So yeah, guys, that is the fifth team right there. The fourth team is gonna be following up right after this. So this is the fourth team that I mentioned earlier in the video. At the back of the team, we're going to be having the Umberwolf. This troop right here is mainly used because of his final trait, which is creating a dark storm at the start of every single turn. That's going to be pretty useful for the team, simply because I have 2 copies of Mortonized Darkness right here. She's going to be a good option for players that simply don't have the Great King or Draculus. You might just have 2 copies of the Mortonized Darkness. Here you go. You can try it out, see how it works for you, right? Axe of Leeching is once again on this team. We're going to hop right in to this fight versus Zul'Goth and the Wild King. Oh my god. And see what we can do, man. Let's go. Let's see if we can get this to work out very, very good for us. So, of course, we want to go get the Axe spell ready. Can we do that? We don't have the mana start here, so we just got to work with what we have. One of the good things you could do with this team as well, as you match those skulls, you'll get mana, right? Because you'll explode the board, you'll get mana to the troops. Of course, it's risky because enemy troops can take that mana from you by matching those skulls. But yeah, you just got to work with it. All right, let's match some skulls. See if we get some alignment here with skulls. Oh, come on, man. It's almost there. All right, there we go. The weapon is ready to go, and they are matching skulls out of hoo-ha. All right, let's deal some damage to them. And let's match another 4 gem match over here. And my setup for the class is the same. As you guys can see, nothing has changed. Let's see if the weapon does not miss here. Perfection. That's exactly what you want to see, right? The weapon didn't let us down. That's exactly what we want to see. And now we can go for the true damage here, or the lifesteal, I should say, right? That's lifesteal that we're going for. They're still matching skulls the woodwork. And can we pick up a kill here? Let's go for it. Nice, nice. That's exactly what we want to see. So those skulls could, deal damage to you, but if you match them, you'll get some explosions on the board. You're exploding more gems surrounding those skulls, and there you go. You got mana to the weapon. You don't have the mana starting troop, which is the Ghost Queen, but if you have Immortalized Darkness, it will work out for you. So yeah, that is the fourth team for the upcoming Guild Wars. The third team is going to be following up right after this. So this is team number 3, or I would say the third team for the upcoming Guild Wars. Crimson Bat is going to be here. Pretty old troop. It's going to be at the top of this team. The spell, Blood Feast, deals true damage to all enemies. Really good. This is the second best damage option, which is true damage for, dealing out damage to enemy troops. It gains life as well. Not a lot, just 16. I hope that the spell does something special when you get it shined, because this is the troop that's going to be shining for this Guild Wars. The troop also deals double skull damage versus divines, and double damage to wounded enemies. Double skull damage, I should say. So that's going to be really, really cool, dealing double skull damage to 2 different options here. So if an enemy is divine and they're wounded, ooh, 4 times damage right there. So that's pretty good to see on a troop. This is going to be at the top to deal some skull damage. Then the axe is back, and then the Great King is on this team because the axe creates red and purple. Crimson Bat uses red, and the Great King uses purple mana. So that could prove to be very useful. And once again, we have the Ghost Queen for a mana start here. So the main focus is just changing the position of these troops for this team, adding on the Crimson Bat because that's the shiny legendary troop for this Guild Wars. And once again, we're going up against this Very OP team. All right, hopefully I get the win, man. All right, this is another battle in PvP to demonstrate what we're able to do for the upcoming Guild Wars. All right, let's see here. Can we get mana to the troops? We have no mana ready to go. So we're gonna, should I take the skull or should I just match some gems? All right, I'm gonna match some gems. Maybe I can skull distract the enemy troops here. And do we have green? Do we have brown? Oh, hell no, we got nothing. All right, let's match some more gems. And they're still skull distracted. That's exactly what we want to see. Come on, bad boy, take those skulls. All right, they're gonna explode some gems. Didn't work out for them. All right, we'll see if we can deal some damage to that leprechaun. Nice, nice, exactly what we want to see. And then now about deal damage. We're gonna take away purple here. Every enemy troop uses purple mana. Everybody should be near um dead here. If we follow up with true damage, we're pretty close. There we go. That's nice. Now we got mana back to the weapon, which is good. That's always good to see. And now we can just target down brown once again. There we go, man. You see what I meant about the Gray King? He just does such a good job. Such a good job, man. Complete board control, silencing, freezing, mana draining enemies. That's crazy. You know, that's crazy. All right, man. So that is that final, that third team, I should say. What am I talking about? Final third team, right? Crimson Bat, um, Axe of Leeching, the Gray King, and of course the Ghost Queen at the back. The second to last team is going to be following up right after this. So this second to last team is very similar to the previous ones. Once again, we have the Crimson Bat at the top, followed by the Axe of Leeching, and of course, Myrthanized Darkness and the Ghost Queen. So we just swapped out the Grey King here, put in Myrthanized Darkness, and it works similarly, but the Grey King will work better. I'm just going to say that this is great for bypassing Submerge as well. So let's hop into a fight here. This is not an easy fight. This is versus a very powerful team, which is the Rope Dart Keelan Divine Ishbala team. All right, let's go ahead, get some 4-gem matches going right there. And now let's see if we can deal damage to the rope dart weapon. That is the most potent weapon over there on the enemy team. Of course, they have a convert from the moon rabbit, so we have to pay attention to that. That's going to be problematic somewhat. Right now, though, we're gonna mess up their board here. There we go. They're gonna cast, of course, give life to their troops. So you have to pay attention to that for sure. Now we're gonna cast Crimson Bat, and then I think I might have to match the skull. Do I have to? Yeah, I don't have to. All right, now we're gonna cast Mortonized Darkness. We picked up a kill. Very nice. It's exactly what you want to see. And then we just have to get spell ready again. Of course, it's not gonna be the easiest. All right, let's match this right here. Then we're gonna get a green, and then we're gonna get a brown, right? It's not bad. Green, brown. And we got a nice 4-gem match. So what I was talking about, Mortonized Darkness. Mortonized Darkness is just really good for putting those skulls on the board. Those Uber Doom skulls can explode, giving you mana. And as you guys can see, it was a slow start, but nonetheless, we got the win. That's simply how it works, man. That's simply how it works. The final team for the upcoming Guild Wars, as well as the most powerful team, is going to be following up right after this. And this final team is what I consider to be the most heavy damage dealing team for the upcoming Guild Wars. Banshee is going to be at the top of this team. This is here because of the traits and the spell. So the spell Scream deals damage to an enemy, then transforms all blue gems to red to boost the effect, right? And that's what we want to focus for this troop. Converting those blue gems to red, looking for alignment, that's going to be pretty good. As well as the troop has a magic link, right? So if you give this a mana start and it has a magic link, that's a 6 mana it needs to get started, plus the magic link. That's like Thrall. Very easy to get spell ready. 1 purple gem match, 1 3-gem match. Boom, this is spell ready, and I can cast it, right? So this is going to be at the top of the team. Axe of Leeching, once again, is there in the second slot for generating that red and purple gem combination based on Ghulvania allies. And then the third slot, we have Gonarissa. This is it's a floral dragon, right? For red. Yeah, I think this is the red one, right? This is going to be here for dealing a huge amount of damage, right? In my case, 206 damage to all enemies. Then it will convert 5 red gems to burning gems. There's a 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by red gems. So that could, do some damage right there, right? Of course, the red gem spawn isn't the best The burn isn't the best. It's kind of weird to see burn Ghulvania. Doesn't really make sense. But nonetheless, we're gonna use it. We're gonna use this Storm of Thorns spell. The troop also has spell damage reduction, so it's a little bit tanky right there when it comes on to spell damage. It has skull damage reflect, just in case it's the only thing left. The enemy barely has HP. It hit me, they're dead. Right? And it has the ability to steal life when matching red gems. So that could prove to be useful in chiseling down the enemy troops, getting to them so that we can just deal a one-shot damage dealing option here. Of course, we have the Ghost Queen once again for getting men to the team fast. If you'd want to, right, you can take off the Ghost Queen on this team, put on the Grey King, right? The Grey King in the back, chilling, soaking up some of that purple mana, and then you can silence those enemy troops while you work on getting your Thornarissa spell ready so as to kill them out with that big boy damage. Of course, you know what it's here for. The final trait of that Haunted Crown. Undead allies are going to be given a 50% mana start. All right, let's take a look at the banner on this one. The banner here is the Silver Banner from the Silver Necropolis faction. So we have a +2 on purple, +1 on brown. They were minusing blue. Minusing blue because we're converting that away with Banshee. So, it kind of makes sense. All right, let's hop into a fight, man. We're going up against double Tesla. Holy hell. Let go. This is a final fight, man, for the upcoming Guild Wars. Hopefully, guys use these teams and it works out for you. All right, so your first assignment, of course, is to get Banshee spell ready. How we can do so? Getting some purple mana to her, right? So let's match this. All right, red to blue, or blue to red, I should say. Blue to red. I kind of don't have it right there. That sucks. That sucks. All right, let's just match that down. She's stunned. That sucks. Let's get mana to the weapon at least. If we can't get alignment right away, let's get some mana to the weapon. Um, what a board, man. It's not looking so good. It's not looking, at least the start is not looking so good. All right, we need to match some gems. We're just gonna match the yellow because we wanted to move out of the way here. And they have life and death spell ready. All right, so since they have life and death spell ready, we have to cast this weapon here, see if we can get some alignment. Perfection. So we got something here. Let's match some gems. See if we can get our main damage dealer going. And we don't have it yet, so we're going to cast Banshee. And there we go. We got a kill. Oh, wow. That worked out. Oh, we were diseased. That's why we were diseased, right? So that's not going to be good for us. Disease slows down your mana accumulation. So you got to keep that in mind, right? Ooh, that was easy. Was I overthinking it or what? Man, yeah, I was already there. I could easily have killed him. For some reason, I thought that the enemy troops had more HP than they actually did, right? So yeah, that is the team right there. Banshee, followed by Axe of Leeching, and then Thornarissa in the third slot. Then the Ghost Queen. The Ghost Queen is simply here to get your Banshee spell really fast because of that 50% mana start. If you think you'll get enough of a surge off of a 3-gem match, take off this, put on the Grey King, go to town, right? Hopefully, you guys and gals found this video helpful and informative. If you did, remember to smash that like button. Comment to let me know what you guys think about the teams. Are you going to be using these teams? Or maybe you're going to be using some different teams for the upcoming Guild Wars. Let me know, man. I'll catch y'all next one. Peace.